see Baker Mayfield, who a lot of people are saying right now he's been the most valuable player in the league through the first 5 weeks.
He's playing at an incredibly high level. It's when your brain meets your physical ability. He's throwing the ball as well as any quarterback in a while that I've seen.
And Mac Jones will be the quarterback on the other side. Brock Purdy once again out with that toe injury. But the injury story is so big. For more on that, let's go to Tracy.
That's right, Jim. Specifically the injury to Mac Jones, dealing with a knee injury and oblique injury suffered last game. We spoke with Kyle Shanahan, and he told us he could only throw this week because it felt like his stab was being ripped off. He did receive treatment before the game. He's wearing a brace on his left knee. How effective will he be remains to be seen.
Well, he's 3-0 as a starter, averaging over 300 yards a game, best in the league here at the start of the season. What Mac Jones has done, but we're going to see initially, we're going to see Baker and company on offense as the Niners have deferred at the top. It's been a story of close wins for each of these teams. In fact, it's the first game in NFL history where two teams are coming off 5 straight games decided by 6 points or less. That's all they know. Hopefully we got another one today coming down to the last 2 minutes.
There's a good chance. I think there's a clutch gene right there so far. Definitely for Baker Mayfield coming back in the first 3 games, Jim. Both teams decimated by injuries. It's been impressive to watch how these coaching staffs have solved that.
So, the 49ers, again, deferring at the top. Pinheiro send it on its way, and we are underway. The Buccaneers running it out with Sean Tucker across the 30 and near the 35-yard line. We got a flag.
There's one area you're going to want to watch. The only loss this year for the 49ers.
Flag is down.
Holding, number 82, the return team. 3-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Tampa Bay.
Brad Rogers, the pride of Lubbock, Texas, governing this game today. Here is the man, Baker Mayfield. Again, just sensational last week. A win at Seattle. He actually had a record for the most passing, or 375 plus, with only 4 incompletions the entire game, Tony.
I couldn't believe it wasn't a perfect quarterback rating, honestly, watching it. I'm like, oh, I guess we got 20 points ago. But he has played as well as anyone in the National Football League could have scored.
10 touchdowns, only 1 pick. And they'll start from the 16 with a Mayfield throw, and he's got a completion right away to this decorated rookie, Emeka Egbuka, with Gifford on the coverage and a gain of 7.
Well, one of the key matchups in this game, Robert Saleh's back for the 49ers, and we know the run he had when he was here, but Baker Mayfield, and how does Saleh slow down this really difficult offense, getting the ball down the field, screens, everything. It's going to be the key to this game in a lot of ways.
You saw Baker 0-4 in his career. It's the team he's played the most times without a win. As he hands it off here.
Got the first down. Yeah.
The Buccaneers get the first down.
Well, we see this 49er defense has a blueprint, right? You know they're going to fly around on defense. They're going to play hard. They're going to know their leverage, take the correct angles. But they have 8 new starters, Joe. And so when I turn the tape on, I'm like, they're not quite there yet. And Saleh's doing a great job of managing it so far.
You said Saleh back in San Francisco. That defense, and we spoke to the likes this week of Fred Warner. They're thrilled. Warner was here in the past with Saleh. They're thrilled to have him back as the D coordinator.
100%.
On 1st and 10, setting up a screen. Flipped out of the air by White, and there are a bunch of 49ers that are waiting for him, and a loss of 2. It was really Warner who kind of broke up the play.
You're exactly right. This is where the screen game has gotten a lot of other teams, but somebody's really good. His name's Fred Warner, who's right now in the discussion for Defensive Player of the Year. Little tip on a screen pass. But I really believe you can screen other teams, but when he shows up, you got to be very careful.
That was Michael Williams, their first rounder out of Georgia, who tipped it, setting up a 2nd and 12. Mayfield in trouble, spins away, throws on the run, and it's knocked away incomplete. That was Green, Renardo Green, who broke it up. Pass intended for Sterling Shepard.
Outstanding job right here by Green. Travel all the way across the field. Gets in there maybe a little early, but you see the slipperiness of Baker Mayfield. He creates his plays on the run, and this was lucky. You see how perfect the ball is spinning, though, out of his hand. It's been impressive to watch each week. Good job there by the 49ers.
3rd and 12 now, as you see last week. They did a fine job on 3rd down in that victory at Seattle.
A false start.
Call the play dead with the flag out.
Ball start. Offense. Number 88. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Tracy talked about the injuries, and for this bunch, without their starting running back and Bucky Irving out again with a shoulder and foot injury, and their all-time franchise top 2 receivers, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, also both inactive.
Well, you'd think that would be a huge issue for most teams, but they did draft a pretty good rookie.
Okay, we already saw him on 1st down with a catch, first play of the game. Bucca you're talking about, and they may be looking his way. It's not him, but on the sideline, it is ruled a catch by Shepard. Former Oklahoma University teammate of Baker Mayfield years ago. Picks up 15, but he's short of the first.
What a throw. And a great job by Shepard keeping his feet in bounds. And this is what makes Tampa so difficult. When Baker starts throwing the ball like this, and they have not gotten off to great starts this year, but boy, do they close to finish out these games. And a lot of the reason is the ball placement. He could throw it anywhere on the field, but that penalty hurt him there. That's why they didn't get the first down.
By the way, it's worth noting, you say the Bucs haven't started great. The 49er defense has not allowed a first quarter point this young season through 5 games.
Is that good?
Not bad. I think it's good. Here's Dixon sending it down the way to Sky Moore, the former Chief. The fair catch at the 60.
Verizon 5G. And by Audi.
Back with the Niners' first possession. Each team's first drive starts at their own 16. Toss to McCaffrey. Christian cuts it upfield. Gets about 3 yards out of it. Mac Jones led them to victory in that Thursday night affair down in Los Angeles against the Rams. He threw for 349. 2 touchdowns, no picks. Again, 301-yard average that leads the NFL. Most yards average per game for a quarterback. It's quite a story. It's 3rd team. Of course, came into the league a first-round pick by New England. Went to Jacksonville, his hometown. And now lands with a team a lot of people thought would have taken him in the first place in the first round back in the draft. Here he is, squeezing through an opening and diving ahead to the 23, setting up for about a 3rd and 3.
Well, that's been his strength so far in these last, 3-0 stretch. Winning is that he's going to take a look. That guy's not there. Back didn't get out. McCaffrey get positive yards, and that's really helped keep them in phase consistently.
Talking about with us yesterday about how his wide receiving core has been one of the biggest issues he's ever faced as a coach. He's without Ricky Pearsall today, but Juwan Jennings is up. He's in the slot to the right.
McCaffrey out wide.
3rd and 4 for San Francisco.
Picked off, yes.
He does catch it. I think, yes.
That is definitely grazing the ground.
This is a Todd Bowles special. It looks like single high, which means you have all this space. The corner's got to get deep, right? Nope. Safety rolls over. Corner comes off. Fooled Mac Jones. Todd Bowles, one of the best in the National Football League at fooling quarterbacks, as long as he caught it.
Well, I think if you're talking football moves in here, I think that's a catch.
I think so, too.
Kendall Vildor It's only the 5th takeaway of the entire season for Tampa Bay, and only their 2nd interception. It's confirmed, and they snap it now at the 12-yard line of the Niners. With Rashad White off the left side.
Got the first down, yes. What? We got to get a touchdown.
Tight end out, Springham.
Great job. Cotton's going to come all the way across the line on a counter play. And you see at the end of it, White just finishing it off. Watch the backside right here. Here he comes all the way across, getting extra numbers. Does a great job on Fred Warner. And this is going to be troublesome for the Niners. They can't afford, with all the injuries, to get behind early in this game.
Well, it's 1st and goal. White picked up 10. Give it back to him. And
Touchdown, yes.
Determine whether you score or have a loss, and they just brought it to San Francisco's interior. And even though San Francisco was bringing it there, Tampa's got the edge now, Jim.
extra point attempt coming by McLaughlin. And it's 7-0. The Niners allowing their first points by the
I told you Todd Bowles disguised it, made it look like single high, and moved to 2. You got to adjust your routes. That's one of the hardest things for Kyle Shanahan with receivers that play a ton. Difficult to process consistently.
Comes to Sky Moore on the return. And the Bucs bring him down at the 30.
Here's the interception. Bourne's going to be right here, and he's going to go up, break out, and Mack thinks he's going to keep running. And he stops and comes back in, hanging the quarterback out to dry. And Mack's like, what are you doing? And now you got to go make a tackle.
And it's on your record as a quarterback.
Yes, it is.
Bourne had a huge game in the win against the Rams last week. 10 catches. Here's Jones going down the field. And he's found Bourne of all people. Henry Bourne comes right back with the big play for San Francisco.
Dare say that he was born again there. The last one. And watch this split release switch right there. And Bourne's open. Keep running, though. Mack's got a play fake. And what a throw. And I think this is how you're going to have to beat Tampa Bay. Very different than the teams they've been playing with the shell coverage, put the top on the coverage. Now you're going to have chances downfield. Got to be aggressive today.
That went for 41 yards. Handoff, McCaffrey, short side of the field and out after a gain of 4 or 5. Let's go to your tape room for a minute here. Set us up.
Well, you saw the white zone there. Well, from Shanahan to Shanahan over there. But guess what? They're going to line up in goal line, right? So you put all your goal line in on defense. Nope. Now McCaffrey's in the slot on a linebacker. Nobody better than Kyle Shanahan at getting mismatches through motion shifts. You've always got to be on your P's and Q's against this team.
Of course, McCaffrey as a receiver has been something special. He's had 3 games in a row with at least 80 yards.
He's on like a historic pace in some ways.
Yeah, and that's 80-plus yards receiving yards we're talking about. As Jones, is 2nd and 5, tries to go to McCaffrey near the sticks, incomplete. Levante David, who was there to help break it up.
This is why I think you're going to have to be aggressive down the field. You're going to see these 5 pass rushers. They did this 18 times last year when they played against each other. 5-man rush. Ball's got to get up. It's tight man coverage. You can get the ball outside down the field. If you're going to look to McCaffrey underneath, this is not the game like other games were.
Tungus comes in. He's become more and more of a presence in the passing game for the Niners. He faces a 3rd and 5 from the pocket.
He's sacked, yes.
Was in on it early and a loss of 10.
Vita Vea is going to be the guy right here. He's going to create the pressure. Swim move, splits the double team, and from there, Roberts comes in and cleans it up. Vita Vea has been a monster for years for opposing teams.
Rays just some 15 minutes from Levi Stadium, the home of the Niners. Here is Eddie Pinheiro from 52 yards.
And by FedEx, the new power move.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young, among those quarterbacks who've played for both franchises, and even Todd Bowles. You say he has ties to both. The head coach of the Bucs played in the defensive backfield for San Francisco back in 1991.
I was with Todd Bowles in Dallas, and everybody on that defense said he's going to be a head coach one day. They were right.
He's done a great job as they bounce off the first tackle, Tucker, and it's near about the 36-yard line. We touched on this, these down-to-the-wire wins. I mean, just look at what they've had to see happen. Falcons missing an attempt, White scoring inside 10 seconds to go. McLaughlin with a game-winning field goal in week 3, and McLaughlin with a game winner in week 5 after an interception late against Seattle. This team, if the games were not 60 minutes, but 58 and a half minutes, 90 seconds shorter, all 5 games, they would be 0-5. They've won 4 of the 5, trailing with a minute and a half to go.
So the last 2 minutes does matter.
It does matter. As White says, it matters. The first ahead for about 10.
That's what concerns me today. If you're able to push the line of scrimmage and do this. So we have an injury.
It's a Niner defender down.
You got injury timeouts.
And I think that, in the spirit of sensitivity, is all that we're going to be comfortable showing you. And you think about this defense as they hand it off here to White. It's already lost Nick Bosa for the season and a long list of injuries. But to think that this defense, the guy that Robert Saleh said is our defense, it is his. The player always says, I got this, and has always responded.
He said,
Tony, just doesn't even seem possible.
It's just, I mean, what's happened to the Niners last year was really bad. It might even be worse this year. Fred Warner is a special player, had full command of this defense. Was a defense coordinator on the field, possible defensive player of the year. The way he's been playing, it's a huge loss.
Tatum Bethune comes in for him, and that ball is knocked down by D. Winters. Yeah, they all, this 49er team and staff, talk about Fred's ability to process and how he inspires his team. And this is a guy that last year actually played 13 games with a fractured ankle.
You're exactly right.
And it was a lost season because of injuries, but he kept on playing, even not fully healthy at all.
Football player through and through. One of the all-time greats. That's future Hall of Famer you're talking about right there. That is a monster blow. We wish him prayers to his family.
3rd and 9. Mayfield not going to be able to find a way out of that one as Williams, the rookie, has his first sack. They were telling us he's been so close to getting that first quarterback takedown, and now he has one here in the opening quarter.
Great job right here of collapsing the pocket and then keeping the leverage. Everyone goes, doesn't allow Baker to extend the play, and that's the difference. And that's really what this 49ers unit is about. That front four wreaking havoc, and they did it there.
Okay, there. Issues in trying to protect the punter he's had. Talking about Riley Dixon, 2 punts blocked already in this season. No issues here at all as he sends a high soaring kick to the 2-yard line where Moore fields it and takes it out to the 14. 60-yard punt. 7-3, first quarter. Bucs in front.
Jaguars. It's Sunday morning football. Next Sunday at 9:30 Eastern on NFL Network.
These amazing shots on a sunny day in Tampa, Florida, provided by Nationwide. 49ers have to be in some sort of shock right now. we see perhaps their biggest leader on the team carted off the field just a few moments ago in Fred Warner. Here's a 1st and 10 play and a give to McCaffrey. Speaking of great players, no gain. But on that defensive side, with Bosa already out for the season, and now Warner.
He does a great job following right down the line. You said there's a shock value right here you've got to overcome. This is where coaches, leaders, Fred Warner talking to his team, trying to be up-spirited for them. Not a better leader in the National Football League.
Here's a 2nd and 10. Jones goes underneath to McCaffrey, doubled up quickly. We'll set up 3rd and about 6.
Well, he's on pace for 442 touches this year going into the game, which is unheard of. And they need him more now than ever because of all the injuries on this offensive side, now the defense as well. Their 4-1 is incredible. The fact that they're 4-1.
3rd and 5. Rushing for is McCaffrey. He's got the 1st down. Well, of course, a year ago it was McCaffrey who was hurt. Really, it was a lost season for him. We talked about Bosa on the other side of the ball out for the year, but there are guys who are going to be somehow phased in, coming back. Guys like Brock Purdy, who they gave a no-go for him as of yesterday. Had turf toe. He's played in 2 games this year. Ricky Pearsall's their best receiver. He's out.
Yeah, your top 2 receivers, your top tight end, your quarterback, your best defensive end, now your middle linebacker. It's like
Kittle might be back next week. I know
A false start.
sometime too. Procedure penalty on the Niners.
Offense, number 84.
This is
5-yard penalty. 1st down.
why all the wide receivers in this system, it matters so much. Because you have motions, quick snaps, shifts, all these things. It's so difficult on receivers to come in. And Warren's done a really good job, but you see he made a mistake earlier. Kyle Shanahan has to rear back the offense, rein it down a little bit, but also he's like, but we need it because we don't have the talent. So I've got to use my brain to do it. He's done an incredible job so far, but he knows it's a challenge.
Brian Robinson has been inserted into the backfield, giving McCaffrey a breather. On 1st and 15, they go to Robinson. He's got about 4 out of that one. Former Commander traded to San Francisco in late August. And Christian comes back in for him.
Yeah, and he was suspended for a month, but he's coming back. I mean, you got to remember, you just don't get the reps with the guys, and the timing of this offense is so huge. And for them to make it work, but right now it's going to be a challenge against the Todd Bowles defense. But so far they're doing okay.
2nd and 11. Then again, dump it off to McCaffrey for another short gain. Catch for 3. Who's been well traveled around this league. Another guy who's come to the 49ers this season, trying to bolster that receiving corps that's thin with all the missing pieces. 3rd and 8. And Jones in trouble.
Yes, yes.
49ers fall on it, and they will be punting. A loss of 8.
Guess who did it again? Vita Vea. Watch him right here. Just completely dominates Rooney and pushes him right into the backfield, and that makes the quarterback go backwards and not look downfield.
As you see Yaya Diaby celebrating, he was the one that kind of tripped him up. Get the sack. And Thomas Morstead, the 17-year veteran, sends it out of bounds.
Perfectly. You want to be 1 foot to 1 yard out of bounds.
Right at the 29-yard line, 41-yard punt, and we'll be back in 30 seconds after this.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the experience of this trainer,
Good to go.
but getting that trainer.
Necking trainer.
29-yard line. Sean Tucker, the running back, spelling white for a few plays, presumably, as Baker gives it to Tucker. He takes a big hit. Flag comes out. Just a gain of about 4. He got walloped by Tatum Bethune, who was taking that position of Fred Warner.
Should be hands to the face. It looked like Lenore, number 2 for the 49ers, might have got his hands up on the wide receiver on the release. We'll see, but just looked like that from up here.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Offense, or defense, number 2. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
You had it, Tony. Lenore.
Yeah, me confused.
While we have a second, let's go to Adam Shine with the update in New York.
Should be hands to the face. It looked like Lenore, number 2 for the 49ers, might have got his hands up on the wide receiver on the release. We'll see, but just looked like that from up here.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Offense, or defense.
Yes!
5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Yeah, me confused.
While we have a second, let's go to Adam Shine with the update in New York.
David Tony, how about this? Geno Smith to Michael Mayer's first touchdown catch since 2023. Obviously, no Brock Bowers today again for the Raiders. 10-0. Raiders go second.
Looking for a second win on the season, taking on a Tennessee Titans team that had its first win in a crazy finish last week against Arizona. Thank you, Adam. Back here, 1st and 10. And the handoff goes to White. Slow down for a moment, but then he gets out to about the 38. But then again, in on the tackle.
I'm really impressed with the offensive coordinator, Josh Grizzard. He's come in and done an excellent job. I mean, his motions, you saw it right there. That's turbo motion, and he gives you all this eye candy, but he really does it to help the quarterback. And they've given control to Baker. Started last year under Liam Cohen, and it's really evolved to another level. He's a rising star at the offensive coordinator position. This Grizzard.
And what a journey it has been for Grizzard. He played football at Yale, coming out of Lizard Lick, North Carolina. Here's a 2nd and 7. Surprise and dropped by Abuka.
This is rare on multiple fronts. I don't see Baker Mayfield miss. Abuka's going to come from your right side, and Baker actually throws it too far behind him. And we've seen Buka literally catch some of the most incredible catches already to his young career so far, but Baker knows that's on him.
Yeah, that was well behind him. Buka with 25 catches through 5 games and 5 touchdowns. He's putting up numbers that are very rare to start a career.
Yeah, like Randy Moss type stuff.
Exactly, 3rd and 7. And there's another one going to Buka, incomplete.
This is a bust. All the communication. You're going to see Buka come right here from the outside. Wide open. No one's there. And Baker just misses him from behind because you have pressure on the right. You don't expect that. Well, guess what? Guess who calls the defense and gets everyone in position? Fred Warner. He's not out there. That's 2 huge plays the Bucs should have just had.
And his replacement, Bethune, the guy to give him credit, 2nd-year player out of Florida State's made a couple of plays, and they force the Buck offense off the field. Dixon boots it. Now the Sky Moore. For some reason, fields another one inside the 5. What's he doing? And returns it to the 16. He took the last one at like the 1. This one was like at the 2 or the 3.
Not ideal.
Yeah, not exactly.
Not ideal.
You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
boys count out.
There you go.
That was a huge momentum shift right there. You know the Buccaneers have their favorite. Like, we think it's going to be a tough game on the road for this 49er team, decimated with injuries. The Buccaneers had their own set of stuff, but then they got worse back, and they feel like they're going. But you need things to go your way. For 49ers, they had it on the last drive.
A little discussion going on the sideline with Scott Moore about those returns.
Yes! Yes! Oh, football!
And very alertly picked up. Welcome back to Raymond James Stadium. Jim Nance with Tony Romo and Tracy Wolfson. Jim Rickoff, Ryan Galvin, and Mike Arnold leading our production efforts as Jones throws it. What a throw. What a catch. He's taken off his Bourne. Bourne all the way down to the 33-yard line of Tampa Bay. There is a flag. It went for 56 yards. He had a 41-yarder in the first quarter. Let's see if it holds up.
This was an absolute dime.
There's no foul on the play. The result of the play is a first down, San Francisco.
This reminds me of Troy Aikman to Michael Irvin. They were the best ever at this. You're going to see a simple bang eight, we call it, which is a deep slant route, and you got to throw it on time in between the defenders. And if you catch it, you're gone. Remember the old Alvin Harper play?
Yeah.
When Irvin switched over, that was the
That was close to horse collar, I thought. But maybe that's what they were looking at first and picked up the flag. That's just the third first down for the 49ers as McCaffrey runs it for about 8. All right, Tracy, down to you.
We see this connection between Kendrick Bourne and Mac Jones. We saw it last week. We're seeing it here. And that started back in New England when the two played together for 3 years. Kendrick told me they hit it off quickly. They cling to each other. Both knew they got really close, naturally just connected. And Mac told us when he heard there was a chance the 49ers were going to bring Bourne back, he went to bat for him. And Bourne told me it was a huge reason he wanted to come to San Fran.
You can see that chemistry. Thank you, Trace. McCaffrey about a foot shy of the first. Yeah, Mac, what did he say to us yesterday? If they asked about him, and I said, yeah, I'd like to have him here. You bet.
Well, and you know, you bring him in to be a 5th or 6th receiver, and now you're starting and getting a lot of the plays, and it's a testament to his work ethic and skill, and honestly, it's why you bring people when the quarterback loves them. They just can sense the body language. You know when they're about to cut.
So second stint with San Francisco is with him back 17 through 20 as Jones sneaks it for the first down.
That's a sneak. Not expecting that. Good job. That's what makes this Kyle Shanahan type of a team very difficult, Jim. When you expect this, he usually gives you that.
They just bring in to Marcus Robinson in for Bourne with a new set of downs at the 22 of the Bucs.
I mean, that was, I don't want to say it was the game recovering that fumble, but if they would have given that to Tampa, this would have gotten out of it.
There's the pass down to about the 13 with use check.
You can hear how many 49er fans are
Quite a few.
Yeah, we just heard that.
Check with his 11th catch of the season.
In motion, comes across. They use him multiple ways. Look at that. That is not a fullback running that route. That's usually a wide receiver or running back, but nope, he is a fullback.
Juwan Jennings comes to the near side. And they run it with McCaffrey. He takes it to about the 9. There's some real oddities that somehow add up to a 4-1 record with San Francisco. They have no picks. They have no rush touchdowns. They have 1 touchdown catch by a wide receiver, and they're 4-1. Maybe you'll get a second catch by a wide receiver. Maybe get your first rush touchdown. Who knows? They're inside the 10. Is their coach good? Amazing. Finding ways to win. First and goal. To McCaffrey. Hurdles a bit. Takes that step down to about the 4.
Just the number of touches to get him the ball. Your top player on offense by far, McCaffrey. And last week was incredible against the Rams. 10 or 11 touches in the first quarter. They are going to wear him out.
The last 9 times an opponent has been in the red zone against the Buccaneers. They have scored a touchdown. Second and goal as Robinson is in for McCaffrey on this snap.
Look to the flat and look to something right up the middle. Usually goes to one of those two areas.
Jones rolling out, steps back, thought about it, now flings it, and it's caught by Robinson at about the 2.
That's the biggest difference between Purdy and Jones. Jones has been playing great football, and I really think this has resurrected his career, but Tampa Bay is not affected by scared of him getting out of the pocket because they don't think he can run it in. Great job not throwing that ball. Could have been intercepted and figuring out a way. But that's hard to score when you have to scramble if you're not a scrambler.
They bring McCaffrey back in. We addressed that yesterday about no rushing touchdowns. And he said, oh, come on now. There have been those shuffle passes. Just about the same thing as a run. Maybe it comes here. 3rd and goal. What will they do? You go with McCaffrey. Going straight ahead. And it is...
Flag is down.
About halfway home.
That was a call that says we might be going for it on 4th down.
And we'll see the flag first.
Which means you might not be going for it.
Exactly.
Offside. Lined up in the number 44 of the defense. After this is the goal. 3rd down. 43.
You can see Braswell right here. And like everybody else too.
Yeah, you could just sense now they've got a chance to.
If he's offsides, he is too.
Laid it down over there, kind of put off with all the talk about no rush touchdowns. They're ready to end that. Here goes McCaffrey. There it is, touchdown, San Francisco.
You have a unique way of bringing up certain stats when you have a feeling they're going to change.
Just a feeling.
Just a feeling. Big time block by Trent Williams. Stalwart on that left side, left tackle. Take a look right here. That's putting somebody into the end zone. And that creates a hole. Paul just got removed there, and that's not easy to do.
Extra point, Pinheiro, good. San Francisco's 148th rush attempt of the season. Leads to the end zone for the first time. As the great voice of the 49ers, Greg Papa, would say, you see the 49ers have had 9 more plays and much more yardage. 97 of the yards on 2 pass plays to Bourne. As they brought their own shade.
They brought their own shade. That's coaching. Smart.
Here's Tucker. Flies. Out to about the 33-yard line. Baker Mayfield's odyssey. It all started in Cleveland on the banks of Lake Erie, where he hit an unexpected iceberg and then found himself somehow staying afloat briefly with the Panthers and then to the Rams. More on that in a little bit, about one game that really changed things. And then he comes here, and it's been a completely different renaissance of his career, and everybody's excited to see it. As he hands it off to White for about 2 or 3 yards. We did a game on Christmas Day. He was the Rams quarterback in the game against the Broncos. It was a blowout game. You remember the game well. 100%. But Baker started that game playing for Sean McVay, and it was noticed by people around the league. It got him eventually this time to come to Tampa.
Give him the opportunity. There's certain games that are bigger than others right in that part of your career, and he performed when it really mattered. Now he gets this opportunity, and he's thriving. And I think you're finding really quickly, he is that guy, that #1 pick. And right now, he's the leading MVP candidate in the league to me.
Here he is on 2nd down and 8. He connects Abuka to the San Francisco side of the 50 for 17.
This is just an incredible combination. He's going to go up, guy underneath. Abuka's as good as anybody. He's got strong hands, point catch, gets his hands out there. Baker looks off first, comes flying in here. And after missing for the first time in quite some time that I've seen, earlier in this game. He comes right back and throws a strike.
49ers have Malik Mustafa in.
Pass is wide for first down. Yes.
For the first time on Monday. Remarkable rehab and recovery from an ACL and surgery in January. Here's a 1st and 10 pass play.
Got no first down. Yes.
Tight end stays in bounds and then is picked up and thrown down by Diamador Lenore. That was impressive of fronts. Catch the run and the take.
It's a great job pulling the guard. He never went to the left. Sneak the tight end back underneath and then pick him up and body slam him. Yep.
You don't see a corner do this to a tight end all that often.
Sit out. Here we go. No, you don't. But that's literally part of the culture here. Essentially, you got to play physical or you're not going to play. They show that. They're just young.
From the 26, back-to-back plays of 17 and 23 yards, and right back to Otton. And that is Dean Winters who makes the tackle. You mentioned it just briefly a little earlier about how Baker a year ago got more responsibility to do things at the line of scrimmage. It came from Liam Cohen, the new head coach now of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that just kind of changed him, took him to next level.
But I don't think people realize you don't know what you don't know, right? When you come to the NFL, so whatever you're taught and everything, that's how much you know. And so he's now learned he can do things at the line of scrimmage, get the protection call, get to a different play for pressuring screens, etc., and it's really helped.
First down. Yes.
He's another coach on the field now. He's taking that added responsibility. He's delivered.
All these guys that you see that have come back and taken off, in my opinion, when you look across the league, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, there's Mac Jones even right here. What's happened to him in this resurgence? Guess what the one constant is? They all went to what you could call a quarterback whisperer. At some point, Baker Mayfield ran into Sean McVay. Mac Jones came over here, ran into Kyle Shanahan. Daniel Jones went to Kevin O'Connell. Sam Darnold, Kevin O'Connell. There's something about that matters.
Another first down. Yes.
Back up to Sam Purdy on their Super Bowl team a couple of years ago. That was huge. And Sam's resurgence of his career.
Don't you love when you were talking about with Mac, how he communicated after winning? This is Brock Purdy's team.
It was
I was really
a classic quote this week.
It's correct.
People will start saying, there's going to be a quarterback controversy here. Purdy's got the big contract, but you're winning games. No. I'm brought here to be his backup. It's his team.
It's like what you strive for. And guess what? Go win every football game and you're going to be just fine. But right now, just win this week, play this week, nothing to worry about. Brock's team, and it's totally true. I love that.
There's a dump-off pass to White. He's inside the 10. As Tampa Bay's putting together a nice drive.
And by the way, if you didn't have, give John Lynch a ton of credit. Kyle Shanahan, if you don't have Mac Jones right here right now, you aren't for him. So to have that, off-season acquisition and make that decision, sign him for 2 years, John Lynch, outstanding job. That's why you're in a position to hopefully get these guys coming back and be in position. Still going to be a tall task against this great Buccaneers team.
Of course, he's a Hall of Famer. He's in the Ring of Honor right here in this stadium. Won a Super Bowl with the Bucs. Handoff. To that side. It's tough.
In the end zone for no touchdown. Yes.
But he's going to bounce this outside. Go inside those guys. Nope. Tucker extends out. Getting his first touchdown this year, I believe. And I'll tell you right now, one team makes it look a little simpler than the other. This is why I think it's going to be hard for San Francisco. But we got a game.
8 plays, 68 yards, and the extra point is good.
When football makes you hungry, order Uber Eats. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Uber Eats. When football makes you hungry, order Uber Eats. Geico.
artist. And a paintbrush with a little mustard. The Columbia restaurant in nearby Ybor City, family owned for 5 generations, serving the delicious original Cuban sandwich since 1905. You're right, that did look like Tampa Bay was not going to be stopped short of going in for a touchdown all the way down the field.
It just, it was systematic, and it looked like they do in the fourth quarter when they have to go win games. Just do what you have to do.
Sky Moore getting a lot of chances on the punt and kick returns. Now to about the 37, and we got an update on Fred Warner. Tracy, all yours.
That's right, Jen. Certainly it was an emotional scene down here as he was carted off. He went right to the imaging room. He came out with an air cast on that right leg. It is officially an ankle injury. He is back in the locker room right now, but I can tell you a lot of concerned players and coaches down here in a very thin defense. Boy, up there leaving.
Yeah, no question. That foot, I know you saw it at home, was turned sideways. And again, he was carted off the field, still leading, encouraging his teammates.
Totally agree.
Somehow disguising the pain as he was doing that as
He's leading even while he's leading.
that's right. Leading while he's leading. Well said. It's update time. Adam Shine, over to you.
Johnny, thank you very much. Josh Jacobs punches it in. 5th rushing touchdown of the year for Jacobs. It's 10-0 Packers. Leading the Bengals late in the second. Back to you.
All right, so again, Joe Flacco gets traded to the Bengals this week and comes right in and takes on Green Bay for the second time in 3 weeks. And he's the starter, Dave. They've not produced any points with 5 to go in the first half.
How long before he plays for the Steelers? Because then he hits everybody in the division.
That's right, he's got three-fourths of it now. 2nd and 3. They're waiting for him. Waiting for McCaffrey. Dennis.
Great job by Dennis. You'll watch here. You got to set the edge, turn it back in, so that way Dennis can pull right inside. And this is as well a coach team as you'll find in the National Football League. Todd Bowles, Coach Monster got him there a little bit, but Todd Bowles is one of the special defensive coordinators, but now head coaches for a while. Impressive what he's done after Brady retired.
3rd and 6. As Marquez Valdez-Scantling has it for 19 and the first.
This is just a great throw. I mean, this is, you got to throw it over the top of David and before the safety and before the linebacker gets there. Wow. I mean, Mac Jones has made some big-time throws today.
He's hit his last 9 passes.
Yeah, I mean, the interception made you feel like it's bad. Bourne was kind of wrong.
Here he is thrown again, and no one down there.
I did tell you, the way that you can win this game, if you're San Francisco, is you have to be aggressive. You've got to get the ball down the field. They've done a great job the past weeks against the shell defenses where they put a top on that defense. Kyle Shanahan knows that. He knows the Rams played off. He was able to get it to McCaffrey underneath over and over again. This game, get the ball down the field. That's been all their chunk plays so far, is throwing the ball deep.
Sets up a 2nd and 10 inside 3 to go in the first. Back to McCaffrey on the ground. Got 3 or 4.
Don't love that one, because now you put Mac into the 3rd and long position. His only completion was when he threw it too long.
That's right. Most recently. But the 56-yarder set up the touchdown. It's got a 3rd and 6.
This is huge because you're either giving Baker a chance, who's been incredible in a 2-minute situation. You can take the end of the path right here if you get a first down.
And they convert. Pass play. Clock was the end out of bounds. Out. They say out. It went back to Valdez-Scantling.
If he'd have held on to it, I think he was in here. What a throw. He ran, just hold on to it. Wow, close. I mean, that throw has to be there. That's what Baker's been doing all year.
field goal. 54-yard attempt for Eddie.
Look at the field goal.
59-yarder career long at the Rams on Thursday night a week ago. This one, is it enough? It is. Actually moved a spare from 54. Now 13 for 13 field goal kicks for the 49ers. Coming up, we got the Verizon halftime report. Another wacky and wild 1 o'clock set of games today. 6 of the 8 games today, including the one in London, were one-score affairs. We'll have that all coming up with JB and the crew on the Verizon halftime report.
You were just talking about Mac Jones. I mean, I don't think everyone understands. His oblique injury couldn't practice all week.
Painful. They just throw the football.
Tracy talked about earlier, the knee, that, and he's throwing it.
Yeah. Not close enough. Watch out. Tucker stutter step and goes. And able to make something out of it to about the 27-28.
Make no mistake, if you want to practice for a week, it's usually against the top Bulls defense. But let's watch this, Jim. Should he come out or no? Let's see.
Yeah, no, hold on. No, now I've got to.
/Crucial Catch Screening. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Hims Healthcare. Designed for you and delivered to your door. And by American Express. There's nothing like platinum.
We're back out of the 2-minute warning and a 1-point lead for the Bucs with the ball. Each team coming in here at 4-1, leading their divisions.
Well, you've got safeties down by here because Fred Warner's out and you think they're going to pass or run the ball.
Go with White. He's got 9. Again, no Bucky Irving again this week, out with a shoulder and foot injury.
That's been a really good 1-2 punch, hasn't it? Bucky being out, you gave Tucker your touchdown.
Not only do they have their starting running back there, you got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, both out as well. They're long-standing receivers, top 2 in franchise history in receptions. They're amazing. 2nd and 1.
That's a caught for first down. Yes.
Trying a hurdle move today. George Pickens of the Cowboys said he might be the all-timer in the game in Carolina that the Panthers ended up winning.
Nice little jump there. That looked like me when I used to have
right.
Totally, right? I got that high once, didn't I?
Off a trampoline.
No, I was on the ladder. I was on the ladder. The trampoline. I was on the ladder jumping down.
Sorry,
But the trampoline was right. But you see a little bit of space now because the communication, you can't just allow that to happen if it's San Francisco.
1st and 10.
Check it down.
And they do. And
First down. Yes.
Think about it, it's just a check down for a first down. Baker Mayfield playing incredible football this year, and this is the evolution of the quarterback position. If they're going to put all these guys deep, throw it underneath them.
Here's Mayfield looking to load it up and go down the field incomplete.
He got answered. He got answered.
Again, we've got all the scores and highlights coming up. There's not that much going on in the afternoon window right now. This is one of 3 games right now here in Tennessee at Vegas. 10-0 lead Raiders. 10-0 lead Green Bay over Cincinnati. But we'll have the recap of the early games and a whole lot more from JB and the crew on the Verizon halftime report. 50 seconds to go in quarter 2.
I was impressed by San Francisco not falling for the pump fake. Baker's been doing an incredible job of moving defenders.
2nd and 10. There was a...
That's a caught for it's a touchdown. Yes.
Flag at the line of scrimmage. process that quickly.
Foul. Roughing the passer.
Yes!
I say he processed it quickly. He saw Upton Stout coming toward him.
You think Fred Warner doesn't matter? You're going to motion him across and go. Look it, they're going to try and communicate right here. Motion. Hey, you got anybody? Does anybody have him? Nobody has him. A busted coverage. You got a free defender coming on Baker, but you can't do that. That's what losing your leader looks like. And sometimes you got to go ahead and take it when you get a touchdown.
Cameron Johnson on the 34-yard connection with Baker, and they're going for two as they move it to one off the roughing call from the 2 to the 1, and pushed back by Green and denied on a touchdown catch as he helps the Bucs motor down the field so quickly. 72 yards in 1 minute and 21 seconds. Didn't even have to use a timeout. And again, they're able to go deep, and just like the 49ers, guys that are getting a chance to shine. Last week was Tez Johnson, the rookie out of Oregon, who had kind of a coming out in the game against the Seahawks. Now it's Cameron Johnson today, second-year player out of Barton. 44 seconds for the Niners to operate with after the Moore return. At the 29.
There's been some hits on these special teams plays.
What a lick right there by Castro. This week marks the 1-year anniversary of Hurricane Milton. And when disaster struck, the Glazer family took action, donating $1 million to traditional relief efforts and another $1 million to launch the Glazer Family Small Business Fund. Since it was established last year, the Glazer Family Small Business Fund has awarded grants to 297 small businesses. It was a 1st and 10 play. And down the field,
Pass is dropped.
in his hands. That was DeMarcus Robinson.
I think they had a pretty well-designed play. You can't tell, he's wide open, perfectly thrown ball. Just catch it. When the hands go up that early, you're like, come on. It was a great start to the drive. Really probably would have possibly produced points at some point there. Now it's a lot more.
You got to really work for it. That probably still would have to pick yardage, but it probably was worth at least a field goal attempt. As down the middle they go. Now they're going to get it. They go back to Robinson, and he breaks the tackle. Good for him. Rebounding after the drop and making a play, and a timeout call by San Francisco.
Getting the ball down the field. That's how you got to attack this Tampa Bay team.
Was timeout called by Kyle
Do you
Shanahan.
remember his drop? Then he came right back. Good for Robinson doing the same thing. And that, you see how early the ball's coming out of Mac Jones' hand? He's seeing the field. And outside of the interception, he's played a really, really good football game. Baker's been perfect on the other side as well.
So for 184 yards in this first half.
Wow.
Talked to him yesterday about how two of his 3 starts had come out with big first halves. What did you credit it to? And he said, play calling.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan's going to get you off to a good start. There's no one better, okay? But Mac is doing it as well. It's like the combination is at a high level right now.
24 seconds to go. Over to McCaffrey. And field goal range at the 37.
And there's David. The old vet. He had the big pick.
And another timeout's called by Kyle Shanahan.
That gets everybody in a zone defense, but not him.
Yeah, the ball ended up in Levante's hands last week when a Sam Darnold pass hit the helmet of Logan Hall, defensive lineman. And there was the 14-year linebacker who spent his entire career here, great career, as one of the Bucs, set up the winning field goal.
One of the special Bucks, and every time you're like, he's got to be done right. No, he's actually still playing at a very high level.
Yeah, making plays. 18 seconds, 1 timeout left for San Francisco.
Need more, about 5 to 10 yards to ensure.
Back to Robinson.
Now you wait for 4 seconds.
They called it already at 11.
Yeah, that actually I'm okay with, because now you line up, you see what they're in, if they give you an opportunity to take a chance down the field, they're going to out-route for another 5-10.
Kyle Shanahan will take his last timeout.
Cows all over this.
That pass play put Jones's passing total to 200 right on the button.
In the first half against the Todd Bowles defense. Wow. And that's with interceptions, start the game. Vita Vea blows up 2 times on 3rd down. He takes a sack. The key was getting the fumble recovery. When you fumble, they got it recovered. They went down and scored. That's what's kept them in the game.
It was a Luke Farrell recovery that saved them. Here's the 1st and 10. That's of little consequence. 11 seconds. No timeouts. Gotta go all the way and throws it away.
So I was saying, you line up, you see what they look like, you take your shot. If it's not there, one-on-one or wide open, you throw it out of bounds. Well played.
So they'll bring out Pinheiro. He's going to say, come on, guys, give me a little bigger challenge than this. I mean, I've already made from 52 and 54 yards.
You didn't do it, did you?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. This is 42.
Here we go. You put the pressure on.
Double down. He hasn't missed as a Niner. 13 for 13. Pinheiro's kick right before the half. Never a doubt, dead center. 2 seconds to go before the intermission.
Gotta give you credit. You do what you're doing.
I always figure they're not hearing what we're saying anyway, right? I mean, is that reasonable to think?
No, I think you're right. I mean,
he's not okay here, by the way. Got stepped on is what I believe happened.
well, I think you were talking about it. You're willing to risk it because you think he's that good. That's right.
He's that good. He's been brilliant. This has been a good first half. Again, the big headline for some of you just joining us in the first quarter, the defensive captain and the all-pro, future Hall of Famer linebacker Fred Warner went out with a gruesome injury.
It was bad.
And was carted off the field. But the Niners have moved on, as both of these teams have all year, resilient, coming in at 4-1, winning games late and finding a way to do it.
It shows you the coaching staff on both sides. They've done a great job of getting the team to be team first, the next man up. We love these guys, but we got to keep playing. But you still have to literally give them the edge on the field. Todd Bowles, Kyle Shanahan, 2 of the best at it. But to be 4-1 with all the shuffling on the offensive line that Tampa's had to go through, the injuries to their top 2 receivers, I mean, the Hall of Famer, I mean, it's like, that's crazy. And then San Francisco, I mean, it doesn't add up unless you have great coaches.
Here's the run out by Cameron Johnson, who scored that touchdown just a short while ago, and that will end a very exciting first half with the Bucs going to the locker room leading 20.
Lemon pepper dry rub. Who's got the sauce?
Easy credit approval. Get it at both Granger Nissan locations.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Here are the first half highlights, delivered by Pride.
49ers will receive the 3rd quarter kick. It's really been a game that's played to script this season for both teams. They've been involved in thrilling games throughout, and they both, we've talked a lot about the 49ers, but again, to emphasize, the Bucs have had their own major health issues, injury issues to overcome. They got a backup receiver who caught a touchdown in that first half, for example. 20-16 lead Bucs going into the 3rd quarter.
It's one of my favorite games stylistically from a coaching perspective, because it's truly like if you let this other coaching staff know what your game plan is, or they get a beat on you, it's over. And I think that Todd Bowles versus Kyle Shanahan is going to be the exciting part in the second half. Todd's calling, obviously, you know, he's been a D coordinator his whole life, head coach now, but Kyle Shanahan, one of the best play callers. And right now, we got ourselves a game. It's too easy for Baker in that offense, but this is going to be how the Niners stay in the game. Kyle Shanahan's got to bring his best stuff.
All right, here's the run back. And it's Robinson in traffic short of the 25. And earlier, Tracy caught up with Todd Bowles.
Coach, you guys have been able to move the ball, but you've given up the chunk plays. 200 passing yards to Mac Jones. How do you have to adjust there?
So we fell down on 2 of the 3, so that's hard to do. If we can keep our feet, we'll be okay. And the last one, we just took our eyes off them. So we gave up 3 plays without even trying. If we can hammer that down, we think we'll be okay.
In terms of this offense, it's rolling right now. It comes down to the wire every game. What's going to be the difference?
Hopefully it doesn't, and we put together some plays and get a couple of leads so we can get after the pass a little bit.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
So Bowles blaming those 2 long pass plays to Bourne.
A false start.
Falling, losing their footing.
False start. Offense. Number 15. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That first half, Tracy just alluded to it. 200 on the nose for Mac Jones, and Baker with 133 yards and the touchdown pass to Cameron Johnson.
Well, what's shocking, I talk about these coaches, and that's going to make the difference. Right now, Todd Bowles has not blitzed more than 1 time someone from the back end.
Across the middle they go. McCaffrey tackled down at the 28.
Todd Bowles wakes up out of bed blitzing. He wants to send pressure, okay? And he has literally switched it up completely. Only sent 1 pressure, which is really his lowest if this continues throughout the game in his entire time with Tampa Bay. At the same time, Kyle Shanahan in the first half ran the least amount of motion he has in his career in San Francisco, and that's provided them the most big plays. So see the little motion, get set, they want to just play ball.
Here's a 2nd and 6. And the seam, they do find Bourne, and he's able to travel alongside Vildor. Had the interception earlier for extra 4 or 5 yards and a first down.
This is where you adjust. Linebackers have to stay in on the play fake, and you see the little bit deeper slant right there. Great throw catch. This is a great start, but I'm telling you, this is a Todd Bowles versus Kyle Shanahan type of matchup.
That's the 2nd straight week now that Bourne, Tony, is over 100 yards. 3 catches, 116.
Pretty good call bringing him in.
Big time. Came to him week 2. Back to McCaffrey, and right into Levante David's arms. Maybe got 1 out of it.
When you see the motion come across there, and no one's better at that than Kyle Shanahan of getting an advantage, but Todd Bowles shut that down in the past. As soon as it comes over, it actually gives a little bit of a tell for Tampa, and they've shut that down. They've dominated on the motion plays, but if you don't motion, you have an advantage because they're waiting for it to check.
Robinson comes into the backfield on 2nd and 10. Straight pass play, stepping up and just dumping it off underneath. And it stretches out 2 yards short of the first for Tungus.
That's actually a really high level quarterback play right there. Reset the pocket, move up, get the ball out, put you in the 3rd manageable. Right here. Resets, knows he's got about another 2nd. Now you got an opportunity.
First target of the game for Tungus.
Here's the problem. There's a guy, Vita Vea, right there. We don't want to run at him. He's the biggest guy on the field, Jim.
3rd and 2, and look at that. They sneak it. Right at Vea they go. Right at him and pick up the first down.
I told you, where you want to go is right at Vea. That's exactly where you want to go. Right at Vea.
That's what they did, though. They challenged him and they pick up the first down.
The quick snap got him, right?
You know, there's a couple stinks now that Jones has picked up first downs.
Well, when you watch the tape, these D linemen put their hand down, they're getting ready, you know, they're not fully, and then bam, you snap it and you get them off leverage.
I think that was part of it. Yep, the timing of it. From the 42, first down. A little bootleg time. Looking at it way down the field, but it wasn't there.
One's open.
So he's going to take off. And step out after a short gain.
This would be a huge play against other teams. Todd Bowles doesn't blitz, only sends a 2 or 3 man rush. And the 2-man route gets swallowed up on the back end, and it's a great job by Mac Jones, whose knee is hurt, his obliques hurt, and he's running like me right now.
As a player or right now?
Just
right now. Okay.
He might have been a little faster.
The left knee's been bothering him all through camp and everything. As that little toss wasn't that clean, but it got into the arms of McCaffrey, picks up a first down.
This is a really cool run play here. But here is the Jim Nance, Tony Romo run. Let's see how you finish this off right here, Jim. Jim, go ahead. Just run out of bounds. Just put.
Whoops, that wasn't too smooth.
I didn't want to run any further. Hopefully that didn't trigger anything, right?
There's been enough issues here and there with the oblique and the knee. That was a little awkward, though. That didn't look normal.
He's playing through a lot.
1st and 10. Tough pass across the middle. And they go right back to Tunchus, his second catch on this drive. Got 9 out of that.
But watch Tunchus from your right. He's going to go up, shake, go to the middle. And it's an option route. He can go right or left. He goes left, and the ball's out already. And I'm really impressed with Mac Jones' ability to see the angle of the receiver and get it out quick.
245 now on the game. Wow. 2nd and 1. McCaffrey fighting for it. And he's stopped at the line of scrimmage by Dennis.
You know who's not in? Vita Vea.
Vea's not there.
So guess where they're going to run it?
Well, we saw him run it when he was in. Now they run it with him out there.
They sneak the ball.
Yeah, that's true.
But when he's out, I'm running the ball in that area.
But he
When
stays
he's
out.
I run it wider.
Yeah, well, they're going to, you think, then go right up the middle here on 3rd and less than a yard.
Well, now I would actually fake like I'm doing it and then throw it to the flat.
Yeah. You got 2 plays to pick up the 2 feet. They go up the middle, in fact, and it got the first with McCaffrey.
It's a lot easier when Vea's not in there, right? I'm just saying, over time, you just have data over 10 runs right at it. Bad when he's in, good when he's out. Smart by Kyle Shanahan. Back-to-back runs, he's like, we're going to get one of them because he's on the sideline.
McCaffrey now has 14 totes, 43 yards, another 6 catches for 34.
I hate to say I might do it again. He's still on the sideline.
1st and 10. Gonna swing it over to McCaffrey. Another catch. And the flag is out. This might be going against the Niners as there's a Buccaneer slow to get up.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 15.
Yes!
Watch right here. You can't block further than 1 yard down the field.
That was Jennings who delivered the blow on Jacob Parrish. Parrish is still down. McCollum, who is out this game, one of the corners for the Bucs, Zion. 1st and 20. The drive has taken about 6.5 minutes to this point. As Jones tries to connect again with Tunchus, who's keeping busy on this series.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be running a little flat wheel route here, and that's mostly like a throwaway. You're in phase, you got points, you can't take a sack, you feel like, so if he's not open, throw it.
2nd and 20.
They've gotten some plays in this situation so far today.
Jones steps back and fires. Complete. And it's Bourne. Second catch on this drive for him, another 13, adding to a big total.
Well, just watch. They're going to block up all these guys, chip and release, but it's just a curl around. And Matt Jones's eyes tries to create the opening. Great job of Kyle Shanahan formatting this, blocking it up, letting the quarterback go 1-2.
Third and 7.
This is tough. Turnovers happen here. Other things. Oh, look at this. Linebacker runs out of McCaffrey. Got man-to-man. Is it one-on-one? Throw it to him.
Here they come. Jones fires it. In traffic, incomplete. There were 2 Niners in the area, including Bourne.
This is a very risky throw. And what a job by Parrish, who I am really impressed with. He's got great change of direction, great lateral quickness. I mean, that's a great pick. Their 3rd round. I mean, I think he's playing lights out for a rookie. They've had him inside and outside. Great play by him right there, ending the drive.
Now for a 4th field goal of the day. Pinheiro just 29 yards. Bierstedt on the hold, and he boots it through.
Made the field goal.
And by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Worth reminding, they've been combined, these teams, in 10 games combined, and they've had 10 one-score results. And this is a 1-point difference right now, halfway through the 3rd quarter. 20-19, Bucks. About to see the first possession of the 2nd half. Comes to Tucker. At the 2, scored a touchdown in that first half to Tucker. And he runs it out to about the 34-yard line.
Hey, NFL fans, Kathy Bates here. Tonight, CBS Premier Week kicks off with a doubleheader event. The season premieres of Matlock and Elspeth, right after 60 Minutes.
All right, Kathy Bates, CBS original tonight, Matlock. A little promo for her great show. Tonight on CBS, and 1st and 10 coming up. First snap for Baker in a long time. After that long drive by the Niners to start the quarter. And it's White. And it's Tracy, actually, now.
Jim, we've talked all game about the big injuries to both teams. Tampa Bay thin at the wide receiver position. No Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, and now their star rookie, Emeka Egbuka, is doubtful with a hamstring injury. Another big loss for Tampa Bay.
It is just amazing the way these continue to mount on both sides. Egbuka had 2 catches, 24 yards in that first half, and again, he is a special one. Step with a little pause to get close to the first and play.
I mean, we talked about the Niners receiving woes and everything. It's like, well, now you're down your top 3, who are also incredible wide receivers for Tampa, right? They got Egbuka in this year, and it's like, wow, you got Mike Evans, Godwin, and them. It's like, when both these teams somehow get healthy on the offensive side, watch out.
Tacoma, Washington native who got to go back early in his career, just the 5th week of the season, and play in Seattle with all the family on hand, and he had a 7 catch, 163 yards and a touchdown in that win out west last week in the Pacific Northwest, the all-time leading receiver in Ohio State history.
Well, let's go ahead and look at this. This is an incredible start to your career. 445 yards, 5 touchdowns in your first 5 games. I mean, that's Randy Moss level.
3rd and 1. Niners, they had him in the backfield. Oh, he's able to get away from Team Winters. They had him stopped. It would have been punting time for Tampa. But White able to fight through it. Yeah, those numbers are just bizarre. What you showed there with Egbuka.
And you see the second effort here, just a simple gap scheme. We're going to go ahead and pull the guard, and nothing was there except for somebody giving second effort, and White, who's playing great football this year. I'm really impressed watching him. It's going to take that rest of this game now because they don't have much on the outside that you're scared of.
They are down to receivers 4, 5, and 6. And play action. And throw it down the field, incomplete. That was the first attempt of the game. Target of Tez Johnson, the rookie. Update time to rise and shine.
Kim and Tony, thank you very much. The Packers respond to Joe Flacco's first touchdown as a Bengal. Josh Jacobs again pounds it into the end zone. Second of the day, 17-7, Green Bay. Jim, back to you.
All right, thank you, Adam.
Robert Saleh, keeping teams under 20 points a game on average, playing outstanding, keeping them in it today as well.
Hand off White. Able to get away from a couple of bodies. And they have a marker on the field. That picked up 6.
Holding. Offense. Number 78. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
I saw in that last series, 81, Ryan Miller. And then this again, they're so far down on the lineup of who they're bringing in. At receiver, here's the call right now on that fine left tackle. There's Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, it's supposed to go inside, but it goes outside because Bethune goes flying.
Well, just how, well, there's Miller. He was in on that last play. You know, you amplified the point with Godwin and Evans out. Ibuka maybe not returning today. There's not a lot there that Baker has worked with. He's got a 2nd and 20. He goes underneath to his tight end. So Upton. And that'll be 3rd and long.
So what happened is San Francisco's been dealing with it already. You are a little more comfortable sending pressure that someone's not going to expose you and score a touchdown, right? If you got Tyreek Hill out there, you got Randy Moss out there, it's like, well, that's a great blitz, but if we leave him one-on-one, it could be a touchdown. Our job is not to give up a touchdown this play. So their job is to rally and tackle. Right now, you're going to find San Francisco's going to back off and rally and tackle. Someone's going to break a tackle to get this first down.
Of course, he's got Sterling Shepard out there, his old college teammate. But he's not going to have a chance. Oh, yes, he is. He fights through the sack. Looking for first down there. Oh, my goodness, he's done it again.
First down, yes.
Broke a couple of tackles. They had him for a sack. Then they had him at least 8 yards short of the first. He fought through them all.
This is Baker Mayfield, the original OG from Oklahoma when they started with all those quarterbacks. And when I said someone needed to break a tackle, I didn't necessarily mean Baker needed to break 4 tackles.
No kidding.
But he just willed his Buccaneers team to a first down there. That's why he's the leader in the clubhouse for MVP so far.
And he tosses it out to Tucker. And it is wrapped up by Siegel. It's funny, Baker was talking to the media in his press conference earlier in the week, and people were talking about his style, his leadership, and he made the remark that early in his career, people said, you know, that he was cocky. This is Baker saying that he's immature. Now, basically, he's the same guy, and now they say it's moxie, and I'm a dog. Yeah, it's just,
Oh, so you're winning.
Yeah, you're winning now.
Oh, you're winning. Gotcha. You're winning and playing great football. Yeah, when you're young, the difference is he knows football at a higher level. He went, been around places that got him there, and now he has a system, and it's in place, and they're all together, and when you win, it solves a lot of stuff.
2nd and 11.
Going for touchdown, yes.
Seam route from the middle. And he's saying, hey, I'm open. He had a different route, and you have to adjust it. But Baker Mayfield's ability, he's done it many times this year.
Oh, look how he caught
It's
it.
his ability to pump fake, look off, and hold safeties. What a throw, and what a catch.
Catch is one of the best.
catch.
One of the best of the year.
He changed his route, Jim. That's what's crazy. He's like, I'm open. I'm going to do this. You better be right. And he was.
Here is the extra point. Look out. It is good. Their first career touchdowns coming in this game.
Got to give him credit. Johnson and Johnson are good. And the company's good.
But you know what? They're 5th and 6th on the depth chart at receiver. You think about that. And they have made plays today.
But you know who made the really big difference?
Oh, we know it was Baker.
Obviously, Johnson on the curl catch. But the third down run by Baker. Make him miss. Get on those two. Pump fake. Make him feel some pump fake. Power over here. Use all that body language and then show off. But watch him pump fake the safety. He holds him. And then he comes back. And that gives just enough room for Tez to lay out and make the incredible catch and then do what we do in our games with that flip and everything. This is what Tampa Bay's been doing all year, and it only gets better the later in the game. Baker's been on fire.
Well, first it was Scatterbo, the rookie who flipped the other night, and now it's Taz Johnson. His little pass play for a gain of about 3 going to Tungus. Jones on his 3rd NFL team, Baker on his 4th NFL team, the rebirth of their careers. It's fascinating to watch.
And they both have been really good down the stretch in recent weeks this year so far. And right now, though, this is a very pressure-packed situation for Mac Jones. You're down 8 points on the road in a really tough situation against a good defensive staff.
Toss it. Hughes check out there to throw a block for him, and McCaffrey's 2 or 3 yards short.
Really
first down.
I feel like that was really smart by Kyle Shanahan to take a little pressure off the quarterback. Get it into a 3rd and 3. You can run it, throw it. This is where Kyle kind of shows off most of the time. He's got 50 plays from this distance. I expect Todd Bowles to switch up, not blitzing much in this game. He's about to get aggressive. Maybe not on this play, but the rest of this drive he will.
Third, we'll call it 3. Across the middle and pulled in by Jawan Jennings for the first down. 3rd and Jawan, as he's been known as throughout his career, does it again.
That's why it's so huge having him back, Jim. Man-to-man, 3rd and 3, that's what you're expecting to get. Teams aren't going to let you just dump it down underneath the zone defense and get an easy first down. You need someone that you really trust. He did it.
And of course, he's played in some games. He's missed some games, but he missed camp. He's had the whole rash of injuries, and they're happy to have him up today.
Yeah, 2 full practices in 2025.
That's it. 1st and 10. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. The field, call again. Tungus. Didn't have a catch in that first half. He's got 4 receptions in the 3rd quarter.
And they're coming after him. I told you right after that play. Jones is one-on-one. This is going to continue. Todd Bowles is not going to let what's happened continue. And right there, Tungus does a great job with the leverage he has of just flattening that route. And here we go. Here we go, Jim.
Here we go. Already. Before the 4th quarter. Save it for the last minute, because we're going to head that way, I think, again, with these 2 teams. This is McCaffrey. Anytime you want that. As McCaffrey, with the flag coming in, it takes 3 or 4 or 5 bucks to bring him down. As they run out the clock on the quarter. Wow. He ought to be a little bit
Holding.
slow.
Offense number 64.
Yeah.
Okay, they... Super Bowl 55, we were here, Tony, for that one. Won by the hometown Buccaneers. Of course, this year the Super Bowl will be in the 49ers' home venue.
First time ever, though, it happened, right? You won in your home stadium.
That's right. Here's the pass. Robinson to open the 4th on 1st and 16. I'm not sure he's totally down, but they whistle it down after 2 or 3. Of course, that was on the late stages of COVID, so there weren't a lot of people here to see it. That was Brady's remarkable 7th Super Bowl ring.
He went on the road in the playoffs. If there was ever a year you wanted to.
Yeah.
What an incredible run that was for Tampa.
Mac Jones' only start versus Tampa was a memorable game. It was when Tom returned to New England back in 21. Here's a handoff to McCaffrey. And that's going to set up 3rd and long.
It's an interesting position right here. You know where your kicker, what spot he needs to be at to be comfortable and have a chance, right? And then you base it on the score. Kyle knows you don't have to get the first down to get points. But any sack here eliminates the possibility of points.
On 3rd and 11, they bring it to the
Sack, yes. Fumbled the ball loose and the Buccaneers got it, yes.
One thing you can't do, take a sack. Second thing, can't give up the ball. Big time by the Buccaneers in a big situation again.
CBS is sponsored by KFC Original Honey Barbecue. Back on all your faves. And by Cologuard. See more information at Cologuard.com.
This turnover is being reviewed. Was Jones shin down before the ball came loose? Gene Steratore is with us. This is so close, Gene.
This is really, really close, Jim, and I think you hit the nail on the head. It's the left shin, and looking at Jones as he's holding the football there.
Look at me,
We're talking about a frame here. Let's see what Brad Rogers does.
Shin was on the ground before he lost control of the ball. It's still San Francisco football.
Wow, what a call.
So close. So it goes as a sack and a loss of 11, but not a loss of the football. Again, it's not the knee, it's the shin.
It's funny, the other view that we showed was absolutely perfect. This one you can see, but the ball's being punched out, but right there, that part touches the ground. What a great job by our crew right there to show that in real time. That's so close.
And still, it's going to be punting time, but instead of the Bucs taking over on the San Francisco side of the 50, they're going to drop back Cameron Johnson to field this punt for Morstead. So it could be 40, 50-yard difference in giving the football back to San Francisco. So take the fumble recovery off the board. Morstead, who punted for years in this building when he was a member of the Saints for a dozen years. Sidesteps one hit and then pummeled after that.
Never good to go back.
Finally brought down by Gifford after the 41-yard punt. And a reminder, Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, it's big time in Madison when the #1 Ohio State Buckeyes visit Wisconsin. College football today gets you set for kickoff at 2:30 here on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Brad, Gary, and Jenny, and all the crew being on hand there. One of the great scenes, Madison, Wisconsin, as the Buckeyes come to town next Saturday on CBS. 1st and 10 from the 14. Still a one-score game here. And Tucker wrestled back. He'll give him about a yard. Alfred Collins, talk about a good-looking rookie for the Niners. He helped make that play, and what a play he made at the end of that Rams game.
That was incredible. I mean, punching the ball out, splitting the double team.
Look at another rookie, C.J. West. As you look at what the Bucs have done fourth quarter. Yeah, this is really for the bulk of the fourth quarter, but when it counts, they've outscored the opponent 27-0 over the last 90 seconds of the game.
Yeah, and this is where Baker always turns it on. Now he's got the lead, though, so slightly different. You got to be protective and be smart.
Complete to Shepard. There goes Shepard. Shepard stays in bounds.
And it's another first down, yes.
36 yards.
Baker's ability to look off, slide in the pocket, I mean, just watch him. He's going to find that soft spot in the pocket, slide up, fire the ball in the middle perfectly, and Shepard does the rest. There's a play he did. I mean, Baker's made so many high-level plays this year with his arm, but his legs. I mean, he's like second in the league in scrambling for first downs. You saw it on the last drive, but he's controlling the game at the quarterback position.
First down to Tucker, and basically right where they would have recovered the fumble had it held up. We hear now from Tracy on the sideline. Bucca is officially out for the rest of the game with a hamstring. It's update time with Adam Shine in New York.
Jim and Tony, it's Jordan Love to Tucker Kraft, a 19-yard hookup right here for a score. 24-10 Packers. 6:30 to go in the quarterback game.
It's just amazing. Cincinnati is just cannot produce any offense since losing Joe Burrow.
And Grizzard, he's producing offense right there. The young, great offense coordinator. And
Luke Haggard is coming to the sideline. Yeah, Grizzard, you mentioned him in the first half. Talked about how he took over for Liam Cohen. He had been the third down designer last year, so Baker was very familiar with him. He was very happy that he got the nod as the next OC and play caller, and he's done a good job. As his head coach said last week, was kind of his coming out party, what he did in Seattle, calling plays.
First down, yeah.
Again, that's because they were missing Irving, Evans, and Godwin, and now they're on top of it, losing Becca for the rest of this game, so it's thin.
And what they did a good job, they're on their third right guard.
That was Klein who helped clear the way coming in, as Haggard had to go to the sideline one play earlier.
Well, I think what you're talking about with Grizzard, his ability to manage. I mean, you had Barton going to left tackle. I mean, no one was playing the original position, and they made it work, patchwork. That's why they had to come back, and Baker takes it over.
Here's Tucker. Straight ahead. By the way, if you wanted to get kind of a lottery ticket to a head coaching job in the NFL, it's been a pretty good place to be at Tampa, because the last two, Dave Canales went to Carolina, Liam Cohen went to Jacksonville, and then, this is a story. The story's so good. Again, Lizard Lick, North Carolina, class valedictorian, goes to Yale, doesn't want to do anything that he's going to learn at Yale. He wants to learn more about football, so he goes and sees Dave Cutcliffe down at Duke.
Yeah.
Who, of course, was big with the Manning family.
Been around a lot of great coaches.
Yes.
Cutcliffe is one of the great ones, and I'll tell you, Lizard Lick, really? That's where he's from.
That's true.
They've got a full 2 stop signs in that town.
In the backfield, White is going to lose a good 4 or 5 yards. Never had a chance.
Remember, they got Tom Moore, the great Tom Moore, who was in Indy for a long time, still helping on the staff. I mean, he's used all these guys and made it his own. And there's the football face I wanted to say.
Yes, we love Tom Moore. 46 years in the NFL.
Let's get off the
guy who recruited Tony Dungy to come to Minnesota. He went to Jackson, Michigan, and flew with him because Tony had never been on a flight as a young kid, and he went there to escort him for a visit in Minnesota. Then later,
how old is he?
Well, he's an octogenarian.
I just remember you had him on a visit. You took care of him.
3rd and 11, and complete to Ogden about the 31.
High-level quarterback play right there, Jim. You're up 8 points. You want to get the first down. You always do, right? That is high-level play. Baker just got them into a better position to kick a field goal to make it a 2-score game.
Which would be huge with 9 minutes to go. So it's going to be it's going to be 49 yards is where Riley Dixon's going to put it down. McLaughlin. Stares right between the goalposts. And now plays into it.
Beat the field. Oh no, you missed it.
And the Niners will take over at the 39.
They're only on 7 of the 9 lives they've had so far, and they're still in it with the kick wide.
Right.
Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. And by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
It remains a 1-possession game after the missed field goal. And the Niners, with 8:41 remaining, have the football at the 39.
interior of the D-line, just pushing the pocket, condensing it, making it feel like you're right in the middle of something you don't want to be in right here. Everyone does their job, pass rush, lane integrity.
Loss of 7.
Huge play on first down.
So his last 2 snaps, he's been sacked for 11 and now 7.
Play action. They have not done it much today on purpose with this crazy defense. Shouldn't have done it there, probably.
Gonna dump it off. Get some of it back in a little bit more. It's Tungus. Gonna still be 3rd and about 3rd and 4, maybe.
Possible 4-down territory depending on what you do here. Look at Baker. They're communicating with his team right there. Matt Jones, you got your opportunity right now to be like Baker.
He's just hit the 300 mark. He averaged 301 in his first 3 starts, so he's right at it. Back-to-back 300s, by the way, for him for the first time in his career, and he calls a timeout.
Timeout's called by Kyle Shanahan.
By the way, you can count on NFL on CBS Week 7 slate, featuring plenty of great action, including Mahomes and the Chiefs hosting the Raiders in an AFC West clash. You also got the Colts. Won again today, taking on Justin Herbert's Chargers, who pulled one out with a last-second field goal out of Miami. It all begins at noon Eastern with the NFL today. You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Coming out of the Niner. Short timeout. 3rd and 4. Launching over the head of Jennings, who was well covered by Parrish, the rookie from Kansas State. Now, what are they going to do here on 4th down?
There's enough time. I think they punt it, yep. But it's going to be pressure, man-to-man. And just, I told you about Parrish. I'm really impressed with this kid. I'd have gone with somebody else in man-to-man coverage, a different matchup, but I know Jennings has come back and good receiver, but this Parrish 3rd-round pick, they hit on him.
That first down sack was huge to make that a quick series and a 3-and-out. There's a flag. They rough the punter.
Flag is down.
That's a first down no matter what they call.
Vea was the culprit.
That is 8 of the 9 lives I've seen.
Right into the kicker, defense number 50. The 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
On 4th and 4, they pick up the first down.
And you said it. Couldn't stop his momentum. Ooh. That's always okay if it's a quarterback.
That's 347 pounds coming at you.
Softly.
Yeah.
And he knew it right away. You could see it on his face.
I don't know if there's such a thing as soft at 347.
That's a good point.
So from the 50, with 7 to go. Back to Bourne for another 12. He's got 5 catches now for 143 yards.
What a pickup.
This guy has been in the league a long time, 9 years, again, now on a second stint in San Francisco. Had those years out in New England where we told you he worked with Mac Jones. They were united here, and they look like they know what they're doing in tandem. Goes back to him, and it's knocked away. Vildor, who had that interception early in the game that set up the game's opening touchdown.
This is a great job. It's a slant route. You're inside leverage. You got to get in there, put your hand. Yep. He's calling for a little bit of a penalty, but I think that's bang there. He's playing well today.
2nd and 10 from the Tampa Bay 38. Tight end screen. And it goes for 9 yards to Tungus. Again, they think there's a good chance they'll have Dibble back for next week. They're in the middle of a 4 out of 5 game on the road streak. They'd love to have him back.
See the pressure? I like screens when they're under pressure, quarterback sneak.
He's already now successfully done it twice. And boy, at the top, they're giving him a pretty generous mark, but it's going to be straightened out here for negligible gain. They were ready for it this time.
Exactly right. Just went to the well one too many times because you caught him. Now the defensive line, they were prepared for it.
Comes in to try to assist.
Oh, we're gonna go for this one, I'm guessing. That spot is a lot closer
than it appeared to be.
Yes. At this point, I'd ask for a measurement because it looks like it actually might have it based on where they put the ball, even though it might.
Look at McCaffrey, though, moving him forward. And they let it play it out. You can see him leaning in backwards. I'm talking about Mac Jones. Gonna have a virtual measurement. Here we go.
Yep, there it is. Should be a little short, yep.
Yeah, well, it's
1 foot 8 inches, and I know that because that little dot is feet, there's inches. I learned that at Eastern Illinois.
And by the way,
Senior year.
You're making Burlington High very proud also.
And there too.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a little more than a yard and a half to go, Tony.
Well,
or half a yard, I should say.
Yes, I think you missed that. And you just ran the quarterback sneak. You know that's not coming. Let's see what Kyle Shanahan has.
Wasn't a gun.
Until started. Oh my goodness.
A false start.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
He's still going to go for it, of course.
They were going to quarterback sneak it, and Pooney jumped.
Okay, now you got a completely different approach from the 33.
Who do you stop if you're Tampa? Who doesn't beat you here?
Well, McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey's been quiet of late.
It's off, yeah.
With the interception, there is a flag back at the 44-yard line.
They fooled him with the coverage, the same as the first interception on the first drive. They made it look like single high where the corner's got to go deep. And Mac Jones thought he ran right past him. And the safety comes over.
The result of the play is an interception by the defense. After the play, personal foul, number 71 of the offense.
Yeah.
So the old veteran Trent Williams flagged after the interception. Here in the 4th quarter, 5:43 to go. Ties it for about 2. You might be wondering, what did Trent Williams do after the interception? Well, he got the little face-off here. Get out of my face is basically what he's saying. Some pretty good stuff going on here.
Yeah, Trent's going to win that battle.
Yeah, most of the time.
But he's going to lose.
That was Tyke Smith he was
for his team.
having a little disagreement with. But it did move up the football for the Buccaneers to the 35, and now after picking up a couple, clock running at 5 minutes, 2nd down and 8. First down at the 50. That's Cameron Johnson again. Who caught Baker's first of 2 touchdown passes in this game.
Just an outstanding job of motion. And then Baker off his back foot, recognizing the ball has to come out right away. Just systematically trying to finish the game.
Tracy, down to you.
And another injury for Tampa Bay. Right guard Luke Haggard is in the locker room dealing with a shoulder injury, questionable to return. Haggard is the third right guard to get hurt for the Bucs this season.
Crazy. First and 10. He's able to fall right on it. That was White. Now, while the Bucs have had 2 interceptions, those almost became a takeaway for the 49ers.
Who don't have any interceptions?
The craziest thing, we're talking about crazy, is Robert Saleh inherited this streak that goes back to last season. If they don't get a pick here at the end of this game, this will be the 13th consecutive game without an interception, which right now is at 401 pass attempts since the last time.
Longest drive
that they came up with one. Longest drive all time in NFL history. Here's a pass down.
First down. Yes.
Second one in a row.
Baker Mayfield is keeping the defense on the string. His eyes go back and forth, sliding to his left, throws the ball perfectly in the middle. And I just think his vision and understanding the game, and he actually keeps it on the back shoulder on purpose because there's a defender in front, and the Johnsons have come up big today.
Big time. Mayfield now with 256 yards and the 2 touchdowns and a first down with 2:48 to go. And White wrapped up. When he threw that
The
touchdown,
timeout's called by Kyle Shanahan.
this is the 40th start at Tampa Bay for Baker. He became just the 3rd player to reach 80 touchdown passes, at least 80, in his first 40 games with a new team. The only other 2 to do that, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Tom here, Peyton in Denver.
Good company?
Pretty good company, but it speaks to why he is being discussed early on. Long way to go, but all this talk about being the early season MVP in many outlets.
And it's only going to get, you don't want to say easier because it's never easy in the NFL, but he's got some guys coming back, and that's going to make things a lot more helpful for the offensive staff. And what they had to shuffle through on the offensive line, receiver, I mean, it's just been so difficult. He's willed this team in many ways.
So that's after a timeout by the Niners. Remember, they used one on offense earlier, so they're down to 1. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming up, but they are in field goal range. So that's it. The last timeout called here by San Francisco. Early headlines include Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers getting to 4-1 on the season, burying the Cleveland Browns. Colts come back and win again. 5-1. What a story it is with Daniel Jones' emergence in Indy. Justin Herbert threw a couple of touchdown passes. Chargers won on a field goal right at the end of the game by Dicker. And the Patriots stay hot. They'll be coming here, by the way, in November. New England will be at Tampa November the 9th. 3rd straight win for New England. They back up the win that they had at Buffalo. What a great win that was for them. And back up that with a win today at New Orleans.
Yeah, it's easy to come off that and be complacent, right? You have a huge win. Saw that happen to Jacksonville a little bit today after their win against Kansas City. Not easy to do. Well done by the Patriots handling it the right way.
3rd and 4. Niners need to stop it on this field goal. There's a little screen pass. Oh, what a stick. Great piece of tackling right there by Marquise Siegel. They'll run it down so San Francisco can't stop it. They'll run it down to the 2-minute warning. And on the other side of the break, it'll be a 44-yard field goal attempt to make it a 2-score game if they make it.
Yeah, and I like Siegel. I know he's had some moments this year where he wants back, but I do think his future's bright. Remember, 8 new starters on this defense. They had to get rid of a lot of guys for money, etc.
Yeah, we reached the 2-minute warning.
It's going to take some time. Kyle Shanahan's done his work.
They get field goal like this, the game is over.
This is your moment to go all in. Only at K.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Allstate. You're in good hands. And by Jerry Jewelers, Story Diamond Desert Sands of Eternity.
and have the offense out here.
Throw them off sides after a timeout. If this works, it's ridiculous. There's no way they're wrong.
No way, right? No way.
If the defense does this, then I almost got that. Oh, totally. I'm going to change the play. Here, now it's this one. We got to go here. It's the most aggressive play calling I've ever had at line of scrimmage.
They're not budging. They flinch for just a millisecond.
Too much time.
The timeout and the field goal.
Oh, timeout called by Buccaneers and
By the way,
coach.
tonight on CBS, it's time for 60 Minutes and financial reporter Andrew Ross Sorkin, followed by the back-to-back season premieres of Matlock and Elspeth. Plus Tracker tonight on CBS Update. Okay, last week, McLaughlin won it with a 35-yarder in Seattle, but don't forget he had one block by the Jets this year, and it was returned for a touchdown the other way, so who knows? You keep talking about 9 lives and all that. It's 45 yards, McLaughlin.
They've gotten 8 of them so far they've used.
Making the 2-score game.
If you made the field goal, we won the game. Yes.